to help them, to be with them, to bless them with the information that we are about to receive and to share, because these information is not only for us to keep in, but to share. That's where we become better and greater. Thank you, Father. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen and amen. Thank you. Thank you. So, guys, once again, like I said, we are here with the phenomenal, fantastic Joy Pierre Bessessa, aka, I'm getting there, girl. I get it. I am getting it. I practiced that all day and my tongue still got twisted. I'm like, oh my God. But anyway, we are here with Dr. Denise, okay? Let's just call her Dr. Denise or Dr. Joy. You understand? But she is a business owner of Gift of Health Limited out of Trinidad and Tobago. She's also the owner of Health Solutions out of St. Lucia. She is an orthomolecular specialist, means that she deals with the blood. And I think that's so important because guess what? Everything happens in our blood. You know what's going on in your body if you can look at the blood. She also deals in clinical microscopy, blood cell analysis, and nutrition. So she is usually turned to when people are usually on their, I don't even want to say deathbed, but literally to the end of the end, sometimes even past the deathbed, she is turned to at that point, because then that's when everybody suddenly wants to live. So, but she is that individual that, you know, finds solutions, nutraceutical solutions that can get into the cells as quickly as possible. And she finds different methodologies. And as you can see, she's a nutritionist. So she also gives you the base that's necessary to get you turned around as quickly and as fast as possible. So it's without great pleasure for me to present to some and introduce to others, Dr. Joy, Dr. Denise. Take it away.
Hi, guys. Good night. Yes, another wonderful introduction there, Dr. Rutan. I love you, girl. So let's get into our session tonight. You know, I want to respect everybody's time. So we're going to talk tonight about the microbiome and penile health, disorders, causes, and treatment, pathology in immunology, and nanomedicine. It's just some fancy words, but it's just understanding the system and how the system works and how your body works for wellness. So the triism acceptance, I always want to bring this in. And, you know, we had some really good response to this when we really understand what this means. When one represses emotion, one's body hurts. When one represses consciousness, the mind aches. And when one represses spirituality, the soul suffers. It is very important that we understand our triune being, because we are mind, body, and soul. So our emotions, consciousness, and spirituality is all synergistically embedded in each other. So where one is repressed, the other hurts. So we must be in triune with each other, with these functions in our system in order for total wellness to be achieved. So we always hear Master Clive, King Clive, Dr. Clive now, talk about the microbiome and its functions. And I have to put this in tonight because we are talking about men's health tonight. And I'm only going to touch on one aspect of men's health tonight and then take them into different segments later down. So what is, we've been hearing the microbiome. For those who are new tonight, the microbiome weighs as much as 5 pounds. The bacteria in the microbiome helps us to digest our food, regulate our immune system, protect against other bacteria that cause disease, and produce also vitamins, including B vitamins, B12, thiamine, riboflavin, and vitamin K. Vitamin K actually is a vitamin that helps the body to reabsorb the calcium back into the bones, because when the body is suffering and to alkaline the blood, it pulls the minerals from the body to get into the blood to surface life. All right, because the blood is the life. Leviticus tells us that. So the life is in the blood. So without the blood, just as it gives you life, it can take it away from you. So when these minerals are lacking, it pulls from the bones, the teeth, the skin, all these areas in the body to get that being healthy. So calcium is one of the main mineral as well, other than magnesium. So when that is taken in from the bones, it does not reabsorb back into the bone. So you need vitamin K to help that happen again, because the bones will become porous. So all of these things is very important when it comes to our microbiome and what it does. All right. It is so important that we we talk about it, but now the clinical term microbiome, of which we know in the earlies as good bacteria, bad bacteria, but it's really our microbiome. Okay, so tonight we're going to look at the human anatomy of a penis. And there you have on the screen the anatomy of penile, of the penile gland. All right, so I want to show you the connection with what rules the penile, the penis in itself. What rules the penis is that the microbiota in the gut. And what is the microbiota? We just spoke about the microbiome, but the microbiota is a collection of bacteria, archaea, eukarya, which is organisms, all right, a set of organisms that colonize the GI tract, gastrointestinal tract, is termed the gut microbiota. And this has co-evolved with many of us, the host, over thousands of years, to form an intricate and mutually beneficial relationship. So, you might be hearing for the first time, the microbiota that regulates the penis. Yes, because the gut microbiota, or the gut microbiome, or gut flora, are the microorganisms, which we just spoke about, bacteria, archaea, fungi, and viruses that live in the digestive tracts of animals and human beings, which is the gastrointestinal metagenome in the aggregate of all the genomes of the gut microbiota. What that simply means is that it is its innate ability in the genomes, which is genes, the DNA structure of the gut, to help the body to maintain overall health. All right. So we ask a question: can bacteria affect erection? And this has been taken out of clinical journals, and the answer is yes. Certain STIs, sexually transmitted diseases, right, like chlamydia, gonorrhea, untreated HIV, and viral hepatitis, can sometimes cause these infections in the prostate gland. So not everything that has happened, or a man has enlarged prostate or something called prostatitis syndrome, it simply means that there is enlargement of the prostate gland, which can happen through bacteria, or bacteria that has gone abnormal in the body. All right. So if this does happen, then it is a possibility for you to have erectile dysfunction symptoms. All right. So we are looking at what, we are talking about men's health here. And I love you guys. And I want you guys to have optimal health when it comes to this. Because in today's society, if a man goes even over 50, 60, 70, 80, he's still virile. All right. And if that goes on him and he cannot function, that's the end of his life, because it's how they think, because that's the only thing that's happening for them as a man. All right. If their manhood is taken away from them, all falls down. A lot of things starts to happen. So there is a question: can digestive problems cause erectile dysfunction? Yes, in the study of 94% of men with inflammatory bowel disease, IBS, or Crohn's disease, or ulcerative colitis, okay? These are issues that happens in the gut, all right? Acidity, something called atrophic gastritis, when the microbiome goes out of balance in the gut. You're not having proper digestion. All these things are taking place. You're having acidity. They call it a nice name, acid reflux, the clinical terms it. But it simply means that your bacteria has gone out of whack, out of balance. So when this goes out of balance, they also can have erectile dysfunction. It is highly prevalent among men with newly diagnosed inflammatory bowel disease. And this has come to the attention of the clinical desk, because I have been noticing, and in my line of work, and I can tell you by experience and by what I've been seeing for the last year and a half since COVID has shut us down, a lot of men are complaining that they're having issues in that area. And the reason, when I look at their anatomy and I do my scans and I do the due diligence of them, most of them are complaining of having issues with their bowels and stomach. All right. So I went into some research deeper, not just surface value, to find out really if it really is affecting. And if we used to be listening carefully on the information that Master Clive has been giving us, we will understand that there's a gut-brain axis and also the second brain, which is the gut-brain axis, and also the gut first brain. All right. So all of these bacteria that regulate the entire body, it starts in the gut. All right. So what bacteria causes erectile dysfunction? Now, this might be very interesting to you guys. One STI is called chlamydia. It is a sexually transmitted disease, a STI, which is a sexually transmitted infection, and it can affect both male and female. Now, mostly women shows up these bacterial changes within their body when, you know, their microbiome goes out of balance. It shows up more in a female. It hides in a male due to the fact that the pineal gland, it coils. And most times when a doctor treats a female, they also send a set home for the husband to take, or her partner. Because the thing is, it doesn't really show up in a male as it shows up so prevalent in a female due to her openness of her body and how the vagina is made. All right. So it can affect them if left untreated, and it can also lead to long-term health problems. And one of that complications that chlamydia can cause is ED, erectile dysfunction. So let's talk about ED. What is erectile dysfunction? Well, erectile dysfunction is the inability to get or keep an erection firm enough to have sexual intercourse, as we all know. All right. It's sometimes referred to as impotence, although this term is now less often used. You hear ED right through. So occasional ED isn't uncommon, meaning that, you know, you not always do get a hard on. All right. Many men might experience this during times of stress. But if it becomes frequent, however, we have some signs coming up there that we need to look at your health problem, and it needs treatment. So it can also be a sign of emotional or relationship difficulties that may need to be addressed by a professional if it reaches to that point. All right. So let's look at causation of, you know, what causes an erection. But before we go there, let me talk about, I know a lot of people are coming on now, and you know, I really wish you guys would be on from the beginning, because you lose so much of information here. So what causes an erection? ED can occur because of problems at any stage of the erection process. And erection is where there is an increase in blood flow into your penis. All right. Blood flow is usually stimulated by either sexual thoughts or direct contact with your penis. So you're seeing a diagram of the penis here on the screen, and you are seeing the identification of different parts of it. So you are understanding, where and how it works. Okay. So when a man is sexually excited or aroused, muscles in the penis relax. So this allows for the increase of blood flow through the penile arteries, all right, filling its two chambers inside the penis that you're seeing there. Okay. So when these chambers are filled with the blood, it grows rigid. All right. So when an erection ends, that is when your muscles contract and accumulated blood can now flow out through the penile veins. Okay. So dysfunction causes, all right, the root of what causes this erectile dysfunction is physical issues. We talk about one, the bacteria, and we talk about issues like heart disease, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, and smoking can all cause these erectile dysfunction in a man. On the other hand, there are other aspects like depression, anxiety, stress, relationship problems, and other mental health concerns that can also interfere with these feelings. Okay? So what are we saying is that not every time a man cannot get a hard on, he is sick. There can be other issues that is also affecting him as well. Okay? And the list can go
Hey,
on.
curious, Dr. Denise,
Yes.
question for you, because I had some gentlemen, because I sell the product before this, because
Right.
what we're going to be talking about shortly. But I had some gentlemen concerned about them taking the vaccine, and that they felt like it wasn't happening the way it used to happen. So is that something that you could speak to as well as you speak?
Oh yes. As you talk about it, a lot of persons experience erectile dysfunction to a mild form when they were vaccinated. Now, I have not really tested to see if really it was a cause of certain things, but sometimes certain chemicals that's entered into the body, if the body is not able to regenerate and to assimilate these cells in particular, because remember, you are building white blood cells, you are building immune cells, your cells are now is going through a stage of friend or foe, and most times it can affect certain I will say emotionally, it can affect you in a mental state. So it can cause some form of depression, and it can also give rise to a flaccid or start to work on erectile dysfunction. Now, I'm not saying that that is the causation of it. There can be underlying factors, which I have seen happening with persons, and their body is not in optimal health to work on these areas. So hence the reason it will affect. Maybe they might be having some underlying issues that they don't know about, and it started to affect them in that area. I have heard of women as well. I mean, I know tonight is men, but women who had suffered a low libido and all of that after taking the vaccines and so forth. So I hope that answers the question. And as we're looking at yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And also, yes, we spoke about a few things that can cause the root cause of erectile dysfunction. We have low testosterone levels, hormonal imbalances. We have to work on the endocrine system, kidney disease, increased rage, stress, anxiety. We spoke about that, depression, relationship problems. If you on certain prescriptions, prescribe meds for high blood pressure or depression, you can also, it can affect the way in which your blood flows and erectile dysfunction, because it suppresses the body. All right, consuming too much alcohol, tobacco products, and persons who have health conditions and they don't even know, such as Parkinson's disease, MS, multiple sclerosis, and who have had injuries to their pelvic area. And I'll show you a picture as we continue to move along. My screen has stuck in those areas. All right. So here we have right? We were talking about, and now you're seeing, you know, a little diagram of a flaccid penis, sorry, and a erect penis and how it works. Okay, so we have to look at really underlying factors that is affecting us. You don't just get up one day and realize that you have this issue or you have a low libido and you go to the doctor, and of course he's going to give you statin drugs to help you, but it's really basically what we've been talking about, blood flow and what can be causation of these issues within the body. You can be going through a lot of things that, you know, we don't even understand or know that we are having these problems within our body. All right.
So, hey, Dr. Denise, sorry to bother you again.
Sure,
another
go
thing,
ahead.
No, another thing that I have heard from a lot of men, and it's so interesting, where they say that, you know, they really don't share it with their mate, you know, whether it's girlfriend, whatever, sweetheart, I don't know, wife, I don't know, not my business. But, you know, they talk about that these issues are happening, but they don't even let their mate know. And so they're suffering literally in silence by themselves, where, you know, some will say the longevity is not there. Some will say that it will harden, it'll erect and then go soft very quickly. And these are all, like, you know, some even say on that next screen where you talked about premature ejaculation, they speak about that. And he's like, it saddens me sometimes to know that our men are going through this, but they don't even share it with us, or maybe we're not as in tuned as maybe we should be with our mate to know that these things are happening. And so that's very interesting as well. So I just wanted to share that with everybody.
Yes, and I will expand on that, Dr. Rutan. It's very important that we do, because these are really silent pain our men go through, and they are afraid to share because they feel they are macho and this is a man thing. And when their partners even see and try to, you know, help in some way, they get very aggressive. I have had a situation last week where that aggression has almost reached a point of beating his mate, you know, and because he has the frustration of not having be able to have sexual intercourse, and the frustration of just being, you know, flaccid and limp all the time, it stresses him out to a point where he actually abuses his mate and starts to say all kinds of things about her that she's seen other persons, whereas it's his frustration. And these are the things that we have to really, you know, work with our guys on it. Because I mean, coming out of COVID, we have had a lot of this happening with our men. You know, so as you see on the screen there, I'm not going through the types and details: premature ejaculation, delayed ejaculation, retrograde ejaculation. I'll go through this in another time. But all of those things are associated with diabetes, obesity, metabolic syndrome, high cholesterol, sleep disorders, clogged, blocked vessels. Now, in my experience of these things happening, whereas you might have an infarction of the pineal gland, which is a broken penis, right? Sometimes you have rough sex or sexual intercourse that just didn't go, you know, the right way as it should, and they get a little infarction there on the pineal gland, and it can have a brokenness and they don't know. That is very painful. But some men, it just goes silent for some time. All those things can cause disruption in the blood flow. So the arteries are clogged, because remember, that is not just a organ that raises. What raises that is blood flow. So when blood is not in optimal health, or oxygenation is not happening within the body, the systems, mentally, it goes together with that, because you think a thought, you start to have these feelings, and then, yes, the action starts to happen. So when you are in these kinds of conditions, Parkinson disease is one, you know, a main one too, heart disease, depression, all of that will affect how the blood flows throughout the pineal gland. So we were talking about injuries. Now I have this reflexology chart on the spinal column, and if you look at the lumbar spine, all right, the L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, what actually affects your bladder, sex organs, sciatica nerves, prostate glands, knees are your lumbar 3 and your lumbar 4 vertebrae. All right. Now, if you've had an injury or you do not even know, some men never even remember they've had an injury or something may have happened or you just slip or fell. You know, these injuries crop up later on. And the lovely thing about it is understanding how your body works. This is one of the points that I deal with all the time. So when I find certain issues are going on with the human body, I actually go to the root cause of it, because certain vertebrae are associated with certain organs in the body, and by extension, what causes problems within the system. So you can take a picture of that. It's open as well. So where you see the lumbar 3, bladder, sex organs, knees, and then L4, sciatica nerves, prostate gland. Those are the areas that actually affects those that actually can bring about certain things concerning those areas in the body. If there is damage, if there needs to be decompression, or if this went out of alignment, or you've had an injury there before. So it does not allow proper blood flow for certain things to work, you know, in the body. So this is one of the things that I wanted to actually, you know, show you guys. So we're going to talk about, you know, and Dr. Rutan, you feel free to jump in if there are questions or anything that you're seeing there so that we can, you know, work on as well. So if not, we're moving forward to what we can do to reverse erectile dysfunction. All right. To reverse erectile dysfunction, one can do massages. Now, I mean, I love to talk about the vagina and the penis because it's an important part in our human anatomy. Because without those areas, you know, is we can't live. All right. It's just a part of our life. So I do massages, I do therapies when it comes to certain areas of the human body, and one of them is massages. So you can massage, get a prostatic massage where you massage the prostate, you massage, you know, a form of therapy, all right? And during those massages, the practitioner will massage the tissues in and around the groin area to promote blood flow. So we understand where the shaft of the penis is, there where it meets the testes, you know, you massage that. Guys, you can do that as well, you know, and massage those areas so that it can actually promote blood flow to the penis, all right? And if you're having issues in those areas, you actually help break down calcification on the prostate as well, because prostatitis syndrome is really calcification, different things that goes on in the prostate there. So it needs to have those massages done. All right. And you can do that, you know, several times a week to help the body. And then coming up, you know, to the penis head as well, where that vein reaches there. All of those areas are good in massaging so that you can help those tissues and nerve endings to kind of activate themselves. So you have proper blood circulation flow. All right. So one is lifestyle change. That is one. Lifestyle changes as well, adjusting your life to improve, you know, erectile dysfunction. Diabetes plays an important role in eating. All right. And we have to really, really, you know, work on having two. I mean, you guys are sweet, yeah, but having that sort of glucose, it can cause a lot because it can deplete blood flow in the body, and the process is when it does not break down. So it will store in your blood, which would lead to high blood sugar. And then you get type 1, type 2 diabetes. Having all this amount in the blood damages the blood vessels. So, you know, I mean, I know we're going to talk about it later, but many guys who have been using the Chrono Fire would realize that when you start to use it, your sugar levels rise so high till it blows you roof from the beginning. Yes, because all of these sugars are in the bloodstream, not necessarily in, you know, in the cells itself. And when this pumps back into the bloodstream, you have a lot of caramelization taking place. So it has to break down all of these things. So there will be a spike before it levels off. All right. And that when sugars are high, it will damage your blood vessels and nerves located around the penis, especially. We have seen, and I know Ms. Donnelly loved this section, because we have seen where erectile dysfunction, most of the men, when you hear about it, is that their sugar levels are high, or they're either diabetic type 1 or 2. So we must be, and once this happens, it means that their blood vessels are becoming damaged, and the nerves ending around the penis is becoming damaged. So we need to repair, reverse, recover, and restore. All right, because that will lead to difficulties in attaining or maintaining the erection. You might get an erection, but it drops. So it keeps going up and down. So you just don't have a full, erection flow. Okay. So you need to keep that down. All right. Then we have we spoke about the spinal column, the lumbar spine, pelvic floor exercises that you can do, as well as counseling for couples who have been going through this stress, and so forth between their partners. And then we have our herbal and alternative remedies. I know Dr. Rutan told me I need to talk about it, and explain. So, this is not the way to go, prescription medicine, because most times, as we were talking about high blood pressure tablet, diabetic tablet, these prescription medicine actually causes erectile dysfunction and certain things concerning the body, degeneration of the kidneys and so forth. All right. It can cause, reaction to 5% of the population. All right. And these reactions brings about the illnesses. So you might be being treated for a condition. And like, for example, I'll use high blood pressure tablets. Many of you would get high blood pressure tablets to take. You might have to take 3 different types. And one out of that 3 different types is to counteract what is going to happen with the body. All right. So they also give you a counteracting pill as well, so that you won't go through the things that it might give you. So you see what we're about. So the best way to go is to start eating healthy and try, because last week's session, we talked about your DNA, try to repair back the damaged DNA within our bodies, because we have been long destroying our signals within ourselves to give proper, optimal health. All right. So this is what our diet's supposed to look like. All right. Vitamins, minerals, essential fatty acids, phytochemicals, enrich the body's internal environment to fortify your cellular protection, repair and regenerate, and support renewal process. One of the main ones I use as well, together with the minerals, is probiotics, because probiotics, you remember, bacteria is what rules the pineal gland, all right, as we were saying earlier. So what is the best bacteria for testosterone? For those who have low testosterone, probiotics. That can raise your testosterone levels. So studies were shown that probiotics, which is the Lactobacillus reuteri, all right, Master Clive, Dr. Clive spoke about that. All right. Once taken, it can result in larger testicles. Okay. So what that means, it increased the serum testosterone levels in the spermatogenesis. Okay. So the sperms is more healthier. Gonadotropin is more, produced, which is your sex hormones and all of that. So it helps very much in rising testosterone levels. All right. So when these issues are low, you have low gonadotropin being produced. All right. And that can also connect to your endocrinology system, because it will affect your thyroids and parathyroids, and you're not able to send these T cells and CD4 cells chemicals to create with the pituitary gland to produce gonadotropin. So most times, sometimes couples are trying to get pregnant. They're blaming the woman. She goes and get herself tested, but most times our guys are too shy. They don't want to go get tested, and then they realize they have low sperm count, or their spermatozoa is not round. It's oblong shape and all of that, meaning the sperm cells are not too healthy. So we have to work with that. I mean, I'm telling you this through experience because I've done it, I've seen it, and I've worked with couples. So this is what we need to start to educate ourselves in understanding to bring the body back to homeostasis. All right. So foods that can help in erectile dysfunction. Some foods are like blackberries, some, rich in flavonoid. All right. Watermelon, spinach and dark leafy greens, oatmeal, certain pomegranate juice, avocado, bananas, some nuts such as pistachios, walnuts, hazelnuts, and almonds. Don't you see the link to the testes? These nuts shape and look like the testes, right? They always say you eat foods that look like the organs in itself. So some of those are things that we can use to help in erectile dysfunction and bringing back wellness to the body and homeostasis.
Hey, Dr. Denise, I can't hear you. I don't know if you dropped. Let's see, guys. I don't know if she dropped.
Are you hearing me now, guys?
I can hear you now.
Okay, great. All right. So where you did not hear from,
now you done it.
Okay. All right. So just to recap a little bit, I was talking about the foods that can help. Blackberries, flavonoid-rich foods, watermelon, spinach, and dark leafy green vegetables, oatmeal, pomegranate juice, avocados, bananas, pistachios, walnuts, hazelnuts, almonds. Those are some of the foods that we can eat to help bring about wellness within the body and to bring back, homeostasis. Also, we spoke about massages and erectile dysfunction surgery. Now, these are in cases where it's really, really, you really reached a point where you're not having any sort of, it's reached a stage where you need to do surgery. So doctors might recommend, there are two types, implants and vascular surgery. Those who have infarction of the penile gland or a broken gland, they can also use that. A penile implant is referred to as a prosthesis. It can be placed in the penis, all right, two different ways, an inflatable one implant so that you can pump it up, and you get the penis larger so that you can
Dr. Denise, pause right there.
Yes.
So I remember Nurse Adelie and I were looking at that because there's a doctor in Nassau that does it in the Bahamas, right? And so we were trying to figure out, is that really for the man or is that just for his mental man? Meaning, does he feel with that? Like, is there actual feeling, or is that to satisfy his mate and for him to say, well, okay, I'm able to do this, or? Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, yes and no, because he would feel because of the nerve endings on the penis skin. Okay. But it's really not affecting the nerves as such. It's an inflatable implant that it implants into the penis so that you can position it manually and you can get that erection. But in terms of the feelings, you will still have the nerve endings and feelings on the skin. You understand?
Okay. Yeah.
And you can, and when the prostate do what it needs to do, you will have ejaculation. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
So that happens in place of men who have, infarction of the penile gland when it's broken and they don't really want to do surgery to repair that vessel. So they use the balloon. And also, you can do vascular surgery repairs, arteries that may be blocked up in the pineal gland as well. So this restores blood flow to the penis. So younger men are mostly typical, better candidates for this type of procedure. Older guys, they just use the inflatable implants, you know. So at the end of the day, that is a decision, you know, you would have to take if you really reach to that point. So this is, you know, where we are in terms of talking about the penis, and we can also go deeper into some other areas in our next session. But I just wanted to keep it simple tonight because we want to talk about, you know, our products and, you know, moving forward with the plan. So what we are really, you know, introducing or have been talking about is what nanomedicine does. So we have these formulations that we always talk about every Tuesday, and these formulations are engineered to attract and go straight to the disease cell. That is what nanomedicine is all about. And that is our base formulation in our technology, in our supplements. So we have used advanced science like nutrigenomics, which we study how people analyze, how rest, their foods, their environment, lifestyle, and genetics. So it is very important, as I said, that everything falls hand in hand with each other, because without it, we cannot have optimal health. And I hope you guys are really taking notes on this, because it is not very easy to go through things of this nature. And I'm seeing a rise in this. I know Nurse Donnelly and Dr. Rutan has been, you know, scoring high in the Bahamas and by extension other areas, you know, as well. Even here. Now, I don't know. There are certain types of ethnic groups that just will not talk about it. All right, because they are ashamed, they're afraid. But this is as real it could be. And it has caused a lot of disruption in family life. So moving forward, let us talk about our fantastic four. So Dr. Ruthan, I don't know if Master Clive is on to do the Hasaki tonight for us.
Yeah, he is. Let me just bring him on because I just have to do something quickly. Hold on, Clive. Give me 1 second. Bring you up. There you go, Clive. Take us away.
Okay. Great, everyone. Happy to talk about the king. The king is in the house. What makes a Saki king? Because it takes care of the most important organ in the body to keep it healthy. Do you realize that if the gut is not healthy, then the body can't be healthy? Just for the record, to remind us that the first organ system the body made was the gut. And all systems, especially the systems of elimination, are plugged into the gut. And we have come with our company. Sankey has taught us something that we did not see coming. The importance of the microscopic organisms in the body. With the Bovia revolutionary technology, with 596 different metabolites made from cacao, what is it doing? It is balancing the intestinal flora and generate new nutrients. So it is balancing your gut microbes. The new science is, if your microbes are happy, you can be happy. If they are healthy, you can be healthy. And look at how many different conditions we experience when the gut is out of balance. And look at how many times people go to doctor, pharmacy, to find something for what? For the gut. Because the gut for many people is in a rut. So people experience gas. And what I'm learning about the type of bacteria in the gut. When fiber goes into the colon, the type of bacteria there makes a lot of difference, because the bad bacteria are going to convert fiber into gas. The good bacteria, the microbiome, converts fiber into short chain fatty acid. who and what is working in your gut, good bacteria or bad bacteria. This product is designed to create the shift. Whatever is going on now, how about nurturing and nourishing the good microbes in the body so that they are the ones in charge of your internal security and activity? So I encourage everybody on this call, get your Asahi, feed your body Asahi, allow those microbes to get nutrients, make them strong, put them in charge, put your gut under new management, Asahi management. You will never go wrong. I tell you that. So anybody experiencing constipation or diarrhea, gas, bloating, heartburn, upset stomach, anybody experiencing the celiac disease, Crohn's disease, diverticulitis, and things like that, these are gut disorders. And the gut affects the brain. You see why you have to fix the gut? Because your brain will be sprained if your gut is in a rut. Back over to you, Dr. Rutan.
Well, next we have our Balaj. Listen, this is my baby because I, like Dr. Denise says, I have been marketing this product all over Facebook. I am the lady, I am Island Girl Healing. So if you're on this call and you're wondering, who is Island Girl Healing? Well, that is me, Dr. Ruth Ann. And this is the reason why I've been doing this. And I have to explain. We were on a call, like I think about a year or so ago, and somebody was talking about the kings and the men and the head of the households. And what I realized is that, especially in the Caribbean, our men don't like to go to doctors. And I realized that, guess what? One thing that is going to help their bodies from everything is this Balaj. And if you talk about a man's sexual organ, guess what? They're going to listen. They are going to listen to you. Be assured. So undercoverly, I am helping you with your sexual organ as the product helps with your entire body. So what does it do? Listen, it's made of the Orzoid Enzyme 5 now. Yes, it says 3 here, but we are now on 5, which means it's 25% stronger than it was when we first got in back in 2019. It's capable of acting on the inside cells of your mitochondria. That's the energy houses of your cells. It's perfected with the purified extracts of rosemary and the bacteria off of the olive. 100% natural, 100% plant-based. This strengthens the immune system by 85%. So not only is it helping with your microcirculation, not only is making sure that your blood is circulating the way it needs to, but it's also helping with your immune system. So fellas, ladies on this call, if you're not feeling well, if you're sick, if you feel like you've gotten a little COVID going on, a little bug, a little flu, the Balaj is going to help you through this. And I personally have, I'm clinically diagnosed with an autoimmune. And for the past 2 weeks, my husband has had, I don't know what type of cooties I call it. I say, don't cough on me. Don't come near me. Don't cough near me. And trust me, I take my Balaj every day. I have not caught whatever that was. And it's because of the same Balaj. So he finally decides, oh, let me take some Balaj and Quinone. And so now he's on it regularly. So listen to me, fellas. This is the product that you need in your body. This is something that you need on your shelf that you're taking on a regular basis. It also increases energy production. That's where your longevity is going to come in. It reactivates natural antioxidants in the body. It improves hydration at the cellular level. This product is able to permeate the eye wall barrier, the brain barrier, anxiety, depression, Alzheimer's, dementia. This product is for you because it's able to hydrate the brain. Basically, nothing can permeate the brain barrier unless mixed with chemicals and then injected into the blood. This product actually can do so. It also decreases fats and sugars, improving blood circulation. That is the key to what this product does, is blood circulation. Like it says in Leviticus, the life of the flesh is in the blood. And we are here to assist and make sure that your blood percolates and functions the way it needs to. Back to you, Dr. Denise. You're muted.
Sorry about that, guys. I just went talking and I'm not unmuted. Yes, inner seven, my baby, essential minerals for the body, magnesium, sodium, potassium, just to name a few. Folks, magnesium, the body recognizes. It is one of the most important minerals in the body that helps with fast absorption in the digestive tract. Do you see a connection here? Everything is the GI tract, the microbiome in the gut, because that's where everything starts. So it has its perfect balance of minerals. Magnesium from inner seven is ionized as chloride, which allows high levels of bioavailability, meaning absorption straight into the cells. All right. Similar to other natural sources from diets that we have, of centuries ago. So once the body easily recognizes magnesium, it is able to absorb and utilize it better than any other typical magnesium supplement. All right. It has been proven to be highly effective and beneficial for the body. Minerals are very important in building your red blood cells, oxygenating your cells, and bringing about proper pH balance to the body. All right. The benefits of the inner seven: it has a complex bioalkaline mineral that balances the pH of the body in all aspects of the word, because every part of the body, the organs, has its own pH balance. It supports the body's fat burning system as well and helps improve metabolism, breaking down your foods. It provides biominerals, magnesium, calcium, potassium, selenium, zinc, copper, in addition to 54 other minerals, silent minerals, essential microcirculation to good health. It also supports cellular inner balance and stimulates cellular detoxification. All right, when the cells go rogue on us, it breaks down, it zones in straight into that degenerated cell and start to repair it, the mitochondria in the cell. All right, it also improves insulin sensitivity and reduces the impact of metabolic syndrome. It also improves intestinal transit of nutrients, movement of nutrients throughout the body, and it aids in resetting your metabolism. Amazing. Back over to you, Dr. Ruthann.
So guys, we have, give me 1 second, I'm just drinking some Belage. So we have our Crenue Fire, our Crenute, our Crenui. Our Crenue Fire is made out of the polyphenols from the green tea. It's our patented formula called Auxilia Night Reset, which is ONR. And this is perfected with the Japanese black beans, as well as the bacteria off the olive again, and the rosemary. I don't know if you were on the call earlier, guys, and Dr. Denise mentioned how when you first take the Crenue, within the first 1 to 2 days, the first thing that you find is that your sugar starts to elevate, or even your pressure starts to elevate before it starts to regulate. And the reason for that is, one, for the pressure of part of it is that it's trying to clean out the arteries. It's trying to push through. So if there's any type of anything going on, it's pushing through to make the passages clear. And sometimes it builds the pressure. When it comes to the sugar or your diabetes, you find that there's this caramelized sugar that's in the arteries that starts falling into the bloodstream, causing now your sugar levels to escalate. So this is why we say keep on your medication. Don't stop your medication. We want you to take your pressure every day. We want you to have your glucometer to test your sugar, to monitor it, because guess what? After a few days, you're going to start seeing it regularly laid out, and you're going to start to see it start to drop. And you need to document that for your doctor so that when you go back to that visit, you can show them that, guess what? I've been taking my sugar and my pressure regularly for the past 2 weeks. Look at my numbers. A doctor's just not going to go based on how you feel. Okay, they need to see the documented proof that this is what you've been doing and that you're committed to your own health. So it does reduce carbohydrates and sugars. This simply means it removes the excess carbs and sugars that you consume throughout the day, not allowing it to fall into your bloodstream, not wreaking havoc on the body. It also increases thermogenesis to remove fatty tissue. It actually heats up your body to burn excess fat. It actually takes you to your BMI. It's the intelligent force that's within the product. It protects against gastric oxidation. It supports your metabolism, and it supports proper metabolic function. But the plus about everything that this Canoe Fire does is that it gives you an amazing night's rest. 30 minutes before you're ready to go to bed, you drink a cup of Canoe Fire. Listen, you hit a sweet pocket and you're like, woo! And it just literally puts you into la la land. Now, I mind you, if you miss the little sprinkle dust time, then you're awake. But as long as you hit into that little sweet pocket, man, that sweet pocket puts you into an amazing night's rest. So, Dr. Denise, what say you? King Clive, what say you? And I want to know, is Queen Bev out there? Not sure.
I would not miss this call for the world.
Chad, I knew that iPhone was you. I say, let me bring you up as co-host just in case.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow, wow, wow. I would not miss this call for the world. Wow. What a powerful information. Oh my God. Woo. Dr. Denise, wow. I want to learn at your feet. I want to go to the school that you go, only that I won't be able to call those words. Thank you so much, Dr. Rutan.
You're welcome.
Thanks to all the team members that are on. Guys, these information, I don't know how much money we have to pay. If we were to pay to go and listen to this, we are literally getting these informations free. Free people, free. Oh my God, the amount of things that I've learned. Hey, King Clive, the amount of things that I've learned on these calls. Guys, I don't think even us know what we have right here in this group, in this team, with these leaders, with this kind of knowledge. So I just want to implore you all. I just want to say to you all, take your health and your family health, your friend health, your co-worker, the society, the church, because these are powerful products. I not too long came home. I just had some salad because it's late, and I'm gonna be drinking my cup of Canoe. And I don't know if this happened to you, Dr. Rutan, but it's like if you run out of products, your body's telling you that you need the Belage. My body literally tell me that I need some Canoe Fire. It tells me when I need that Inner 7, which is my favorite.
Hey, Queen Bev, what I find is that people will tell me, they'll say, oh, well, I don't need it. I done had it for a month. I don't need it no more. So I say, okay, no problem, you know? And then they call me halfway through the month and they're like, well, I thought that product didn't do nothing for me, but I think I need that because I was feeling a lot better when
exactly.
I was on the product.
Yeah, I've been getting that. And I'm telling you, even at my stores, the testimonies are coming. And, you know, when you know that a product works is when you have repeated customer. That is when you know that a product, because a gentleman came there today. He said, look here, now, I can't buy the whole box of Belage, but I'm going to take a half because I don't want to be out of these products. Guys, we have awesome product. We have awesome company. And there's a little thing on the side that you can get. Yes, man. If you decide your mind, let me tell you, a lot of us are going to say that, hey, I'm not selling anything. No problem on that. But just ensure that you are consuming the products. And also, guys, remember, the world that we're living in right now, we have only two types of persons, buyers and sellers. And I realize that the poorer set of persons are always on the buying side. We are always looking something to buy, but we are afraid of selling. And the multi-billionaires, is either they are selling us a product or they are selling us a service. And the only way we're going to get to where they are is when we start selling something too. And what better time in life than to sell health? Because health is what is keeping right now. It is. And the company also go back and say to us, if we tell somebody by promoting, they will also give us a little something. And we have a new part that has been added. Remember the last time we spoke about, the new part that they put onto the compensation plan, it was only supposed to be February. But I am understanding today, am I correct, Dr. Rutan? But it is a permanent part of the compensation plan now. What
Well,
that was?
they have a hey, they bring it out yet now. So don't get me locked up, girl. Don't get me locked up.
Oh, don't get you locked up. But you know what? Until then, we can work it. We can do this. Because when you would have brought persons into the company and they purchase a package, the third person that you would have brought into this company, the company is going to give you $30 for everybody from number 3 unto infinity. That is big. If you
on top of what they already given us. On top of what they are already giving you. So let me just go back. Let's say that you would have, somebody enrolled with a basic pack. That basic pack, they would get $90, right? Okay, fine. And after, you sell another pack, maybe the smaller pack, they get a $45. And when you get to your third one, let's say that you sell you another package and you get another $90. The company is going to give you another $30 on that. And another one, another 30, straight to infinity. Guys, that's a whole lot. That is big. And it's one thing I know, I have never seen a company that gave away so much product as Sankey Global. Never in history. I've never seen a company that... Hey, let me give them an example. If somebody currently right now, they have a promotion that if you were on auto ship, which is a monthly order, you had your monthly order going. If you were purchasing 5 products, they're going to give you an additional 5 products. I'm like, what?
That is crazy. Yeah. I've never heard that.
It's insane. It's really insane.
Yep. But look at that. Look at this, Dr. Rutan. Let's say that you were in Jamaica and you were auto ship, you had 5 products and you get 5 free. For those who sell the product for 12,000 Jamaican dollars, that is 60,000. You get right there. That is more than a lot of persons pay for the whole month. Yep. So guys, I just want to encourage you. I know that there are different persons. If you so choose to build it as a business, excellent. If you so choose just to take the products, that is even more important because you are ensuring that your health is at the maximum and the where it's supposed to be. So I just want to encourage you to get back to the person who would have brought you on this call tonight. If you're in Bahamas, we have a fulfillment center. Right there, you can pick up your products in 24 hours. If you're right here in Jamaica, you also can get your products less than 24 hours because we are facilitating. We just want to ensure that the order is placed. If you are in Canada, there is also a fulfillment center. If you are in the US, you will get the products delivered to your door between 2 to 5 days, the max, because the company is right over there in Las Vegas. And it does not matter where you are in this world, you can get this product because courier service are a dime a dozen all over the world. All you need to do is when you go to place your order, provide the company with a Miami shipping address, which is your courier service shipping address, and then your courier service will take you to Timbuktu, wherever you are. So guys, I listened to Dr. Denise this evening, and I just want to go back to just something that she spoke about, men and erectile dysfunction. If we do a radio show in Jamaica, and let's say that I get 30 calls from that radio show, 20 from the 30, calls are men who suffering from erectile dysfunction. I have had men come to my store and they said, my marriage is on the edge. My life mash up because I'm not able to perform. Let me tell you something. I have had person who purchased that Belage, and along with the Hina 7, and is now saying, hey, I don't know what is in this, but it is working. It is working. It is working. The Belage and the Hina 7 for that erectile dysfunction, because as we know, sometimes they're suffering from a swollen prostate. Sometimes it's diabetes, as Dr. Denise said. But we have got to know how to mix and match and ensure that, and we have to tell them the truth. We are not going to tell you that it's going to happen overnight because your body is in such a rut that you need you know, what King Clive said, at least the 90-day challenge. But there are a whole lot of persons who would have said to us within a week, within few days, I'm seeing different. I'm getting an erection. I mean, Dr. Rutan, you are the queen of that, you know, with you know, your customers. So guys, I just want to encourage you. Persons are looking for us. We might not be looking for them, but I can tell you that persons are out there looking for us. And I have pledged, and I have told everyone, including Mr. Arvida, we need to invite him to the call next week. Definitely. I know, you know, Dr. Rutan, we should have. I told him, I said, sir, if you leave Sankey Global, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving until all the tree dies, or I am not here on this earth anymore. So I am here to stay as long as Sankey Global is around, because I am seeing firsthand what these products are doing to persons' life. All right. So back over to you, Dr. Denise. Thank you so much for such powerful information. Thank you so much for the effort that you put into putting these research together, because, you know, based on what we are seeing here, we know that you did not just get up this morning and said, oh, I have a presentation. You would have taken time out of your busy schedule to ensure that you put a proper presentation, you know, together for us. And we really love and appreciate you, ma'am, for doing so. The informations are powerful, and we are not going to take it for granted. We are going to ensure that we continue to spread the word. Spread the word. Thank you so much.
Appreciate. Thank you, Bev. Love you.
Love you too.
Wow. Thank you so much. Yes, guys. So that's us for tonight. For those that need the link, you can go to my YouTube page, Ruth Ann Newton Lightburn, and the video will be there on the YouTube page, or get back to the person that brought you this call and ask them for the recording. But yes. Anything else for you, Dr. Denise?
I think I'm seeing Marva out of Canada.
Oh, yes, our Queen Marva.
Yes.
Marva, do you have anything to say, Queen Marva?
Oh, very nice presentation. I must say, love your graphics.
I was just about to say, yeah, this is up Marva's alley.
Really
So-
well.
Well,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for being on. We appreciate you so much, Marva. Thank you. So guys, thank you so much for coming on. We'll be here again next week, Tuesday, same link, same time. We bring in some more information, whether it's for the human anatomy, male or female, children, or baby to granny, as King Clive, Dr. Clive would say. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for getting on, and have a fabulous, fantastic, phenomenal, terrific Tuesday. Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you,
Have a
guys.
good night.
Thank you, guys. Love you all. Thank you.
Love you.
Good night, good
Bye-bye.
night. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
And there are several beneficial